This is Lou Filippo, and we're talking about what's trending now. What's trending now is the NCAA 2013 March Madness Tournament. The purpose of this video is to break down the South region and help you fill out your brackets. Not only will we tell you who we think will emerge to the Final Four from this region, but we'll also give you the potential upsets early rounds and give you some things to think about. Now, before we get started on this year, we want to take a look and see who is in this field from last year that made a run, a significant run. Don't overlook the fact that Kansas is the #1 seed this year, and they've got, although they lost Thomas Robinson, their lottery pick, they've got a lot of returning talent, and Bill Self is a great coach. They've got 4 seniors, and they've got a super freshman in Ben McNamara. Last year, this team made it to the final championship game. Could they return again this year? Could they cut down the nets? That's the question. But before we answer that question, we want to keep in mind that North Carolina last year was in the Sweet 16, and so was Florida. So this region has some key talent in it. What's going to emerge? Well, we're going to break down the top half of the region first, tell you where Kansas's potential problems lie, and then take a look at the bottom half of the region, and then we'll look to see who's going to be in the Final Four. What we're hoping to see happen is Kansas taking on North Carolina, because this will be a matchup of the Elite Eight game last year, which Kansas defeated North Carolina in. Could North Carolina get revenge? Well, first they've got to beat Villanova, and Villanova has been playing great lately, so Villanova is no pushover for North Carolina. That 8-9 game is going to be a wonderful game, and we think this year the winner of this 8-9 game is the team that has the best chance to take out a 1 seed in the first weekend. Now, if North Carolina emerges, keep in mind that Roy Williams used to coach Kansas years ago. He knows Kansas is very well, and again, North Carolina lost in the Elite Eight to Kansas last year, so it's certainly a revenge factor. We see Kansas emerging from the first weekend to sit on the Sweet 16 line, but there's no guarantee, and if you like to pick upsets, this 8-9 game could easily be the upset you want to pick. We're so pleased to see Virginia Commonwealth get some respect. Coach Shaka Smart's group, back in 2011, made a run to the Final Four from the play-in game. So now they've got respect as a 5 seed. Are they going to be able to take care of business as the 5 seed and overcome Akron? We see that happening. Unfortunately for VCU, what's sitting for them in the next game is most likely Michigan. Michigan is a talented team, potentially one of the best teams in the country, but they are young, and how will they fare in the pressure of tournament time? We could easily see Michigan making it to the Sweet 16 from a run right here, although we're going to put VCU on this line as the sentimental favorite. And this makes it interesting because in 2011, when VCU went to the Final Four, do you know who they beat? Well, they actually beat Kansas as a 1 seed. So that scenario sets up again perfectly right here. We think this will be the year that Kansas will get their revenge, and we see Kansas moving on to the Elite Eight from the top half of the bracket. Let's turn down to the bottom half of the bracket now. What's interesting here is, we'll get to Georgetown in a moment, but Florida did make it to the Sweet 16 last year, losing to Louisville. Florida was a 7 seed last year. This year, Billy Donovan's bunch is a 3 seed. They are a finesse and offensive team, but they've struggled lately. They lost in the SEC tournament to Ole Miss. And if they get by their first round matchup, which we feel they should, what's most likely sitting for them is probably UCLA. But let's talk about the 6-11 game. If you like to pick upsets, Tubby Smith is the coach of Minnesota. His team has some size, and UCLA recently lost their best player in Jamal Adams. Because Adams is gone, UCLA is not the team that they could have been in this tournament. Although Ben Hallen's team plays great defense, there's no guarantee that they will win the 6-11 game. We think they will. We think this will be UCLA versus Florida, and unfortunately for Florida, UCLA's defense could cause them problems. So there's no guarantee Florida gets out of the first weekend. We think they will. Since Florida is one of our favorite teams, we're going to take the sentimental choice and put Florida here. But UCLA could easily be on this line as well, too. Turning to the bottom half of the bracket, San Diego State, Jamal Franklin is a great player. He could cause some problems being on the San Diego State team. Oklahoma is steady but not exciting. Really, the winner of this matchup we don't see causing too much problems because Georgetown should emerge. When you got players like Porter and Starks, Georgetown should easily make a run into the Sweet 16. But it's going to be an intriguing matchup. If Florida can hit their threes, Florida has a chance to beat Georgetown. Most people will put Georgetown on this line. We don't think it really matters because we think Kansas is going to emerge, but we're going to put Florida on this line because they made the run last year. We'd like to see them make the Elite Eight this year, but we think when it comes right down to it in the end, Kansas is on a mission. Bill Self's group is the team that we think will emerge into the Final Four from the South region. What do you think? Do you like our scenario? Do you see other upsets happening? Do you see VCU making a run back to the Final Four and mimicking what they did in 2011? We'd love to know your thoughts. Please share them in the comments section below. Until next time, this is Lou Filippo saying that's what's trending now.